I'll be doing a sketch of Severus Snape, and I've been asked to describe how I get a likeness. So I'm going to try my best to get a likeness of Mr. Snape, and hopefully I will get it, or this is going to be very embarrassing. But as you can see, what I start out with is Loomis method, just to get the orientation of the head correct. Just divide the head up in the 3 equal sections so I can get the brow, the nose, the mouth approximately where they belong. And at this point, I really don't care if I have a likeness or not, and I don't. Looks nothing like who I want it to look like. During this first part of the sketch, I'll get the placement about where things should be, and then I'll go ahead and my first landmark, and my first landmark will be the distance between the eyes. And if you've ever seen somebody with their arms straight out in front of them holding a pencil, scratching it with their thumbnail at something in the distance, that person is probably an artist trying to make a measurement from a distance and then transferring that distance, that proportion, into their sketch, their painting. And I'm doing the same thing. First thing I usually do is after I sketch in, say, one eye, I'll hold that pencil out in front of me and measure the width of that eye on my source material. And then I'll take that distance and I'll see if that distance is equal to the distance between the eyes. And if it is, I have my first mark, my first landmark. I know exactly the distance between both eyes. And then I'll go ahead and same thing, I'll take the measurement of that first eye and I'll see if the width of the second eye is like maybe 3/4 of that first eye. If it is, I'll mark it on my sketch. I'll take it from my source and I'll check my sketch the same way, and then I'll make that second eye 3/4 of the width of the first eye. Then now I have my first landmark set in stone. I know it's absolutely good. I know the width between the eyes, I know the width to the outside corners of the eye. From that point on, I'll use that known good landmark and I'll measure, say, down from the brow line down to the bottom of the nose on my source photo, and I'll put that against the distance of the eye, outside corners of the eye. If it's, say, 3/4 of the distance between the outside corners of the eye, then I got my distance from the brow line down to the bottom of my nose. Then I'll do the same thing on my sketch. Check out the distance between the outside edges of my eye, or rather check the distance that I from the brow line down to the bottom of my nose against the distance between the outside edges of my eyes, and see if it's 3/4 of that distance, just like in my source photo. If it is, great, I got it. If it isn't, I'll adjust it, make it shorter, longer, whatever it needs to be. And from that point on, I have my second landmark, known good landmark. And I'll do the same thing for the mouth. The mouth is generally 1/3 down from the bottom of the nose to the bottom of the chin. I'll check that on my source material, and I'll take a measurement from the bottom of the nose to the bottom of the upper lip, and then I'll check that against one of my known good landmarks, either the distance between the outside of the eyes or the distance between the inside portion of the eyes. And if it's greater than or less than, I'll adjust my drawing if I need to, making it either lowering the mouth or raising the mouth. And then I'll have my third landmark, and I'll do the same thing from there. I'll go check from the bottom of the upper lip to the bottom of the chin in the source material, doing the same process over and over again. And once I have established where all the major landmarks are on the face, then I know I don't have to worry about any kind of disproportionate, a nose that's too long, a mouth that's too close to the nose, or a chin that's too short or too big. All I have to do then is tweaking it in. And what that is I'll take my pencil again and I'll line it up with the tip of the nose, see where if it lines up with the edge of the iris or some landmark in the eye on my source photo, and I'll go to my sketch and I'll check over there to see if the tip of the nose lines up with the iris or wherever it does in the source material. If it does, I'm set. If it doesn't, I'll make the correction. And I will keep doing this all throughout the sketch, and I'll know if I'm succeeding if the sketch is slowly taking on the likeness of the person I'm trying to draw, whose character I'm trying to, whose likeness I'm trying to capture. 90% of the time I can. As long as I follow the same procedure every single time and I don't have distractions, I can capture that likeness. Sometimes with varying degrees of success. Sometimes it's dead on, sometimes it's close enough, and sometimes that's all you need is close enough. And the other thing is, like I say, is this wasn't because I was born with any talent. Maybe overabundance of perseverance. That's about all I can put it to. But that's how I go about getting a likeness, and it's worked every time. I hope it works this time, because it will be embarrassing if it doesn't. So if you liked the video, you can like it or subscribe. You can leave a comment, and I'll see you next time.